Welcome, 16-bit hockey fans, to another rip of the NHL 94 podcast. I'm Len the Lengend, and in this one, I've had the pleasure of sitting down and talking NHL 94 and other goodies with Jesus Plays NHL 94. If you're on video and watching this on YouTube, you'll see me playing him. This is a recent match I had with him back in October last year. He and I were locking horns in the SNES Classic League, and we had a lot of fun playing each other then. We both had the Genesis style that we're trying to employ in the SNES world, so it was a kind of a square peg round hole situation. We talk about it a little bit on this rip, but either way, Jesus Plays NHL 94 has been around for a long time, almost 2 decades, well, roughly 2 decades. And he talks about his journey at NHL 94, other video games, his love affair of NHL hockey games, aside from 94, setting up leagues and so forth. If you've been around this space for a while, you'd love to hear this. This guy is an absolute legend, and he is a gem to the community, super nice guy, and nobody could sport a beard as well as him. So I hope you enjoy this one. It's going to be a beauty. Stick around. Welcome back, 16-bit hockey fans, to another edition of the NHL 94 podcast. It's been a while since I've done this. It's these sit-downs with somebody. It's been some time, but, it's good to get back into the swing of things. I'm back in the captain's chair. This one is going to be a little more special than normal because it's a blessed discussion. Why? Because Jesus Plays NHL 94 is going to be joining me to discuss, of all things, NHL 94. How are you, bud?
Good. How are you? What else is there to discuss, really? I mean, come on.
No, there's lots to discuss. Virtual Fighter, some fighting games. Like, man, we'll get into this. There's lots to discuss. I think that might be things that are adjacent to 94 that you like. But, man, who the heck are you? Because you, for me, you were off the radar and all of a sudden came back. Like, man, give us some background. Who the heck are you, Jesus? Plays NHL 94.
Oh, man, that's a really long story. I'll give it to you short and sweet. I don't want to be long-winded. It runs in the family. I can get carried away with stuff. But I love the game. So, I mean, there's chapters in my life where I've ducked in and out when life gets crazy, but I always find my way back because, I mean, there's nothing I'd rather do than play this game. It's something I've never really outgrown. Like peanut butter and jelly. I still find a way to eat it every week, and it feels like it's the same thing with the game. It just never gets old.
Well, it's good that you're back in the swing of things, and you're just hot off the heels of a tournament in Chicago, the Roanoke Rumble. What was it all about over there? Tell me your experience.
Oh, it was a effing blast.
Oh, you can swear. I don't give a shit.
What's that?
You can swear. I don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah. You can bleep it out later.
I don't care. I really don't care what you can.
Yeah.
Everything goes, man.
I have my Blackhawks regalia on that I wore over there. Just got back from the flight about an hour ago.
So that's commitment. Listen to that, ladies and gentlemen. The man just gets off the flight, comes on the podcast.
Got me a fresh cup of coffee to keep me awake here. So for those who don't know, I guess we're the only two who know. We put this thing off so many times. I'm like, there's no way I'm not doing it. I'm doing it no matter what. If you have to prop me up in the chair. But the tournament was incredible. Happy I got my voice back too in time for our chat.
Yeah, you were sick last couple of weeks, I think, right?
Yeah, no, I was under the weather a little bit. But I'm really, really happy I went. It was amazing. For as incredible as the stream was, and the games were amazing too. It was that much better in person. Huskies and DPS just and Sean, just the calls and the games were just amazing to watch.
How did you do?
Outstanding. I did all right for myself. For someone who's been kind of out of the loop and doesn't play like a tenth as much as I used to. I made the playoff bracket, and that's kind of about as good as I can expect. So I made out all right, and for me, it's really I just want to have a great time and hang out and see everybody. And I mean, I guess if you were to kind of distill it down, I'm just thrilled that this stuff is still going the way it's going, and it seems like it's burning really bright, and the in-person tournaments, excuse me, I feel like they're getting bigger every year. I hope that trend continues. So I'm just
the
happy.
Roanoke Rumble got a little bit bigger from last year to this, from what I understand. It was a little bit of an uptick in attendance. Maybe next year it'll be even higher.
I certainly hope so, man. I mean, if anyone's on the fringe, I know for me, it was kind of a game time decision, but I'm happy I made it. They really should go. Find a way to be there if you can. And there's a ton of guys that I haven't really played I can think of. So I don't want to mention anyone because I leave out a lot of people. But if they can find a way to go to stuff like that. And there's another one coming up in Minnesota, and then obviously the big one, King. You got to be there. It's just, there's nothing like it. It's so much better than playing online. There's really no comparison. It's night and day.
Were you holed up at EA's house for the weekend?
No, actually, I stayed at a hotel nearby. So fortunately, it wasn't much of a trek for me at all. It was easy coming in. But I understand a lot of guys did get in pretty early, so they're able to hang out and play a bunch of Xy's and stuff. Yeah. I missed out on those. I think I could have sharpened my fangs a little more had I gotten in and been able to play a bit. I don't know if it would have made a difference at all in the bracket, but I definitely missed out on those. So next time I got to find a way to get in earlier and hopefully stay a little later.
Well, that was a Sega tournament, and I'm curious because I've seen you and I've played you in Super Nintendo. So what's your jam, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis?
Well, I am a dual console athlete now, but back in the day, it really was tribal warfare when I think about the way some things were like on the forums against there are just two factions, SNES guys and Genesis guys. I did grow up playing the Genesis version for sure. But over time, I guess I've kind of mellowed with age. And I really enjoy playing Super NES now. It was the first season I've ever played in Classic, having been a part of the community since like 2006. I think you bounced me out pretty quick with Jersey. I didn't know how fierce they were.
They're
a lot to learn.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I picked them because I wanted a team that is just big on the back end. I was expecting Kasatonov to be one of the defenders. I was shocked when I picked him and he's gone. I realized after the fact that Super Nintendo doesn't have duplicate players if it's picked in an expansion draft. So he went to Anaheim, was it? Yeah. And so he's not going to be on Jersey like he is on the Sega Genesis version. So I was kind of disappointed, but it turned out Fedosov is an absolute tank in Super Nintendo. So it maybe worked out for the best. I was shocked at how good they are. Jersey is they're not like a crappy team, but they're like, I would say at least mid at the very least in Super Nintendo. So I was lucky to play that. We had some good matches, if I recall correctly. It was fun.
If I recall correctly, I got trounced. I think you swept me, or I think I got swept in the Gens playoffs. I don't know. I think I'm a little fuzzy on it, but I know I didn't play that great. I was kind of floored too, but at how well you play with Jersey and how good they are. I was not prepared for that.
Yeah. My Super Nintendo game has changed a lot. I used to play a lot with one-timers, shooting like that with the Sega Genesis style, but after watching other people, I kind of adopted into now doing more deeks and plays from in close. And then when I do that, when I play more Super Nintendo, that kind of bleeds into my Sega Genesis play too. And I find myself, as I play more Super Nintendo, I'm more inclined to move away from one-timers in Sega Genesis. But it's been a while since I played Super Nintendo, so I'm back to my old habits of just only one-timers. It's effective.
Yeah. You got to kind of be Machiavellian about it. In terms of the Super NES stuff, and like I said, I have a lot to learn. I mean, I guess my crowning achievement is I beat Mikhail. I think we split. We played a series. I think I talked him into playing online after King in 2019, and I think we played like 10 games, and I split with him. So that's probably my crowning achievement in Super NES up to this point. But it really is a different beast. It feels like Deeks feel really 93-ish. And watching guys like Professor play and Anatar, or as I call him, Manatar, and Bob K, all the really good guys that are really good at Super NES. I'm leaving out some names, so I should probably stop.
They're AJ too he's
become yes, exactly. Yeah, it's only a matter of time probably before he takes both titles. Yeah, I've learned quite a bit watching them, but it feels more to me like paper scissors or rock scissors than rock paper scissors. And I'm referring to the Genesis version in terms of scoring. It's like deeks and one-timers, but if you just watch the goals in Super NES games or Super NES games, it seems like it's the vast majority is the goals are deeks and stuff like that in tight.
Yeah. I'm the same way. That's why when I played, I tried to do that more. And that was my biggest falter when I first tried Super Nintendo's version of NHL 94. I did too many one-timers and got trounced using Pittsburgh, and that shouldn't have been the case. But either way, I mean, I learned from all that experience, and I took something away. I think you did too. Mikhail, by the way, he is small world, a friend of mine. I learned this very recently, and I'd love to see him come back to the sphere, the space again, and just dominate if possible. At least show off what skills he has.
Yeah, I haven't heard from him, or I mean, I don't remember anyone speaking of him at this past King at Free Play. But yeah, I mean, he's a legendary player. Won the first King in Vegas, which I did not attend. I totally forgot that I contributed to that. I remember Mikey. When I watch all the interviews you do on a smart TV. I've watched some of them multiple times. I forgot about that. But
what was your contribution?
Oh, I did. I totally forgot. I did a whole bunch of. I didn't do post-production stuff, like video stuff, but a bunch of assets and stuff leading up to it. And a little tidbit, because I know he wanted to get Mark Lesser. Me and Evan, who created the website, right, way back in the day. He's not an active player anymore, unfortunately. It'd be great to have him play too. That'd be awesome. But we wrote Mark Lesser a letter, and at the time, I remember thinking because our understanding of the game was really, I don't know what the word is, primitive. I guess back then, all the stuff we know about the game now, we really were totally oblivious to. But he was like Professor Falcon, I think, to me, and I felt like he's got the source code in a vault somewhere, and like, if we can just get a hold of him. We wrote him a letter. And but yeah, Mikey, I'm going on a tangent, but Mikey did get him and stuff like that. I totally forgot. There's so much stuff in the last 20 years, it's kind of a blur.
A lot of pucks have been shot on goal. They're not.
Yeah.
So, what about the regular ROM or 2 versus 2? Which is the one that you prefer to play?
It's tricky. I mean, 2v2 is, or 2-on-2. It's interchangeable. It's just the same thing. Is so much fun to play, but it's extremely difficult to get 4 guys going. So I feel like Vanilla 94, and there's been so many mods. I mean, I did roster updates for, I don't know, 6 years. I did a custom version of NHL 91. Maybe in 2007, there was a couple leagues we did at a website for that. So I do enjoy the mods. I actually really like the weight bug fix. I feel like, so in that sense, I think I enjoy playing 94 with the weight bug fix more. There's the old Blitz League that Smaz has. That might be my favorite league ever. I just like it turned around, because big guys get a new lease on life, like Neely and all those guys can hit. But I feel like Vanilla 94, it's just classic. It's the best. You don't need to do anything to it. There's no patches. There's no nothing. You just put the cartridge in the machine, turn it on, and play. So I'm gonna go with Vanilla 94. It's probably the best ever. It doesn't need to be improved. I know it has all its quirks and all these things and bugs in both versions, but it gives it character. It's what makes it beautiful. It's beautifully flawed.
You used to play with one person in particular in 2 versus 2. Is that correct?
With one, oh yeah, that's right. Well, that's because at one point we actually had a league.
Well, who is it? Just for people who aren't aware.
It's Dan, aka SO, which is an acronym for Shoe on Head, which is
I didn't know that acronym was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really old joke. You can look it up if you want. Anyone watching this, if you actually want to look that up, that's really old. aka Cam Neely with a K. It's kind of a play on words. Yeah, we were teammates for a bunch of, I think 3 titles, and there's a couple guys that were paired up for a long time, but we played probably a couple hundred 2-on-2 games together.
He's fun to play with. I've played it with him in the last 2 Kings, and he's a heck of a player. And my apologies to him, because he noticed when I play, I'm very fidgety. Like, I'm always shaking, like not really shaking, but like I'm animated when I play.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it feels like I'm part of the action, and I'm in the game. So I think it's kind of a distraction, and my apologies to him for that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was passed out in the last game we were going to play together at 2v2 live, but he was out like a light. He was dead to the world. Could not get him up in time to play, but he better be at the next one, man, to make up for it. So,
it's in May.
Love that guy.
We're having the next King in May of this year, so it's been pushed up from instead of September. I think it's the weekend of May 1st, if I recall correctly. Let me just take a look at the calendar. Shoot, February, March, April. This is awesome audio. The weekend of May 2nd, 3rd, I think, is when it's going to be taking place.
Yeah, so I will break all laws and all laws to be there if I can. I'll play that. No place I'd rather be, man. It's the best ever.
Now, there's been a recent development in the world of NHL 94, and this is all thanks to Chaos. And I've documented it quite a bit on this channel, and he and I spoke for hours on end, and not just about this topic and a bunch of others, but the fighting ROM. He finally solved everything, all the issues, and the fighting ROM version 1 is now released to the world. Have you tried it out, and what are your thoughts, if so?
I have. I mean, it's mind blowing. I mean, it really is, because for me, I don't know, maybe I'm too sentimental or something, but I think back to when we played the game. When I was a kid, I guess I had 93 first, which is a really great story when I first really got into it. Maybe we can touch on that later.
Yeah, I want to hear that.
Yeah, it was awesome. My introduction to the EA Sports NHL franchise. But yeah, it's amazing. This is stuff we talked about 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Like, what if we could add fighting to? It was just a passing thought. It's like, well, yeah, eventually, maybe. But yeah, and he made it a reality. I don't know if you saw the forum post I made, but I replaced Mark Lesser's head with John.
I saw.
Okay. It's like, yeah. I mean, Mark Lesser did a lot, but he also did NHL 95. I think that was his baby, if I'm not mistaken. I think Mark Lesser did. So I had to put.
He hasn't done anything for 32 years for NHL 94. Now we have somebody that's come in and modernized it, bring it back to its former glory the way it should have been. Because NHL decided to take it out.
As someone who did, a lot of mods and stuff, I did with Canada. I don't know if you knew or not, but we added the goalie control button, which at the time I thought was kind of earth shattering, because that was kind of the line of demarcation between the two versions. It's like Super NES is better because ultimately there's a button for the goalie. Sega had that, so that was a big moment. But I think for this now, and there's a lot of guys that really love the fighting component in NHLPA 93. It's probably the single part of it that stands out because it's so easy to score. I ran a 93 league like forever and a day ago. This is probably like 2006. I don't know if we finished it, but there's some guys who are still around that did play in that. I think Sebi is one of them. But the way 93 boils down is just so easy to score with dekes, and there's no goalie control, so you see it coming right across the blue line. If you hit a man in stride and breaks into the attacking zone, it's an almost automatic goal. But I think another crazy thing about getting the fighting into 94 is that it really kind of like opens the door, I think, for a lot of things. Just you think about, well, what could we possibly do next with the game? And I feel a little bit guilty because I haven't really worked on modding the game or editing it or tinkering with it like I used to when I was younger. I spent hours and hours and hours that I didn't contribute anything to it in a long, long time. But it's an amazing addition. John and the guys that are still doing stuff now, including the guys doing roster updates, and deserve all the credit in the world, man. This stuff is so cool. I have the some of the ROMs on my flash card over here. I have my Model 1 right here with the monitor, and there's so much fun to play. There's so many different versions, but one thing about the fighting that I think could use some tweaking. I don't know if it's been used in the league yet, but it does slow things down quite a bit. So maybe make the majors a lot shorter than 5 minutes or something like that, if it's going to be used in the league. And if I do bring the 91 league back, last word I'll say on it, at least as a tournament, I probably will bring that in. But I was talking, I'll kind of divulge this real quick. I was talking with John briefly. I just shot him a message, because one thing that's always bothered me about fighting in hockey games is the fact that in a video game, I feel like the pugilist that wins the fight should not have to take a penalty. And I was like, is there a way to do that? And he's like, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. So I think if we do it in a tournament, we'll probably make it, if you win the fight, you don't get a penalty, but the loser does. Maybe like a 1 minute penalty or something like that.
Yeah. You know, it does make some guys more playable. Guys like Neely, Clark. And I'll give you an example. Yesterday I was playing the fighting ROM against, God, I can't remember his name, but it's somebody I was playing online, and it was funny because I was playing as Pittsburgh, and it was a delayed penalty for the other team. I had the extra attacker come on, and who was it? Rick Tocchet came on for me. As soon as he came on the ice, literally as soon as he went over the boards, he fought Paul Coffey, and he knocked Coffey out of the game. From that, it was the perfect moment. It was like, yes, this is what I wanted all along.
Yeah. Rick Tocchet's a legend in Philly too, man. I know he hasn't been. I know he still kind of considers himself to be a flyer, but he's a legend in Philadelphia. Him and the late Peter Zezel and those guys in the 80s and the 90s. Yeah, he was a hell of a player too, man. Wow.
Zezel's a great guy. I mean, was a great guy. Yeah. Like, did you hear the story about he was traded from Vancouver to Anaheim? And he said no, because he was then going to be further away from his family in Toronto, who was, I think they were terminally ill. And he just didn't want it to take that, go even further away. So he basically said, I'm not going to go. I'm ending my career. And he quit playing the NHL just to go back and spend more time with his sick family member. Like, he basically sacrificed his career.
Yeah.
He's just a really good guy. And we lost a good guy there. And it's a good soccer player too, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's revered in Philly still. I mean, those guys when they were younger, I mean, like the bar scene and everything. I mean, they kind of owned it. Those guys, Talk and Zezel, and I'm missing a lot of names. I'm trying to think. Maybe I don't think Mark Howe jumped in on any of that when he was in Philly, but they had a lot of fun here back in the day.
You were mentioning your foray into NHLPA 93.
Yeah,
I want to hear the story behind this.
Oh man, so I was introduced to NHLPA 93 at a friend's house. My best friend, actually, Franco, and we were two, nerds. We were obsessed with computers and comic books and video games at the time, and we be on phone sharing codes for Mega Man and stuff. But his brother, Nettie, Big Nettie, who I think was in college at the time, he had an NHLPA 93. And we got to play it like a few times, and we're just blown away by it. So, and leading up to this was, I think the blizzard of 93 was a huge nor'easter that hit the East Coast. I think it was 1993. I'd have to look it up on Wiki or something like that. And I ended up being at his house at the time and got marooned there for like 3 or 4 days in a row. And to that point in my life was like the best thing that ever happened to me. My best friend's house, surrounded by, video games. And his brother also had, I think, like a Gateway 2000 computer. And he had, I think, what did he have? X-Wing versus TIE Fighter for PC. It's a huge Star Wars.
March 1993. It was called the Blizzard of 93, the Storm of the Century.
Yeah, that was the one. And I remember just playing PC games for hours and endless stamina, so you can play to your eyeballs just melting in your sockets. And it was the setup for this Sega was in the basement, and I remember me and him playing, and his brother Nettie, he had a playoff series going, I think, with the Flyers, and somehow or another we must have done something in the settings, and we completely screwed up his playoffs. And when he found out, he was pretty pissed off. So I remember taking rib shots from him, and I don't know why I have this thing where when I get hit, I laugh a lot. It's something it's all I've always been like that. I remember laughing hysterically while he's like pummeling the two of us. We're screwing up his playoff series, but I remember, just playing in the snow for days on end and playing NHLPA 93. We'd have like lightsaber duels with wiffle ball bats outside and stuff, and then we'd come in and play for a few hours. And my main team, which I knew nothing about, the Bruins at the time, was Boston. So I just mained them, and we probably played, I don't know, man, we played maybe like 100 games or something of this 4 days, and Adam Oates was my guy. I never moved. I don't even know if I knew how to edit lines, but he stayed there. And I probably played, I don't know, maybe 80% of the games with Boston. And I don't remember what Franco used with Boston, but yeah. And I just ran shit with Oates. And he ended up becoming like one of my favorite players. And it's another thing about the game, I think, for non-hockey fans. I don't think there's another sports game that has converted non-sports fans into becoming like fans of hockey or the NHL than NHLPA 93 and 94. But he was my best friend at the time, and we played and leading up and then into 94 and stuff like that. But he actually he's done really well for himself, and we were both obsessed with Indiana Jones as a kid and all the Lucas stuff. Really ended up becoming an archaeologist.
Holy shit!
Which is not nearly as cool as being Indiana Jones, apparently, but he actually is now teaching at MIT. So yeah, that was my opponent growing up, pretty much.
So you never did play the NHL hockey, aka NHL 92, then for the Sega Genesis. That your first exposure to this franchise was 93, right?
Correct. Yeah, I picked it up, I guess secondhand at I don't know if you guys had Funcoland in Canada.
I don't think so, but
okay, it was the used video game.
Yeah,
franchise, kind of a turnkey business, and they were the first, I guess I would say, national company. Though I don't know how far-reaching they were in the States, how many locations they had or anything like that. But and we used to call them "fuck no land" because you'd call and ask for the game, and say about it. But I'm pretty sure I picked it up there a few years after 94 came out. And I actually, in many ways, prefer 92 over 93 in some aspects. It is a little crazier. I played in the 92 league.
I want to dive into. Because I adore NHL 92 just because it was my first exposure to this franchise. And so it nostalgia is just off the charts for me. I do recognize there are huge faults with the game. It's, I don't want to get into it. However, running a league for this, I want to hear the experience, how bad it must have been, because that's another game where you can just do a lot of dekes. You could shoot from the slot and just get goal after goal. It's very difficult to defend against. So I want to hear, what was the experience for running this league?
So I didn't run the league, but a long-standing community member who actually played 92 offline and online for a long time. And this league actually predates the forum, which I think was opened in 2000.
Wow.
So the name of the guy who started was Jeff, a.k.a. Dead Meow. We haven't seen or heard from him in a long time. He had some serious health issues, so I hope he's doing good. I haven't heard from him in maybe, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 years. But he ran the league and actually ran the first NHL on the subject of Jeff. He ran the first NHL 94 tournament, though I know the Finnish guys, they had their own thing going on. But in terms of like an open public tournament, the box scores for that tournament are actually on his forum, which is the Genesis Pro Sports board. It's still there. If you want to check it out, I could get the link for you, the URL for that. But he ran a 92 league. I probably played 2 seasons. A couple other guys who are long-standing community members did as well. We were talking about Dan, aka So.
Yeah.
He was in that league as well. So a lot of fun. But yeah, there's some big flaws in the game. The amount of fights is just ridiculous. And the problem is when you get in a competitive environment, everyone's looking for things to exploit to win the game. And they just find a way to get everyone off the ice with fights. Because you can fight after the whistle. Just check after the whistle. Bam, you have a fight. And it can get ridiculous at times, but it is a blast to play. I love that game. It's great. And the opening music to that too is, to me,
incredible. And 93 is fantastic. 92, in my opinion, is better.
Man, it's really close because, yeah, I could cut a rug to the theme of 93 for sure.
Oh, it's fantastic. But yeah. 92, it's for me, like I said, the nostalgia is off the charts. And
yeah, dripping with 90s, man. Just soaking wet with 90s.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, now, absolutely.
You've been around 94 for decades. This competitive online, even in-person type setting. I'd love to know, pick your brain, how has the game evolved over the years?
There's so many ways to answer the question. I mean, competitively, obviously the mods and stuff like that, all the hacks. There's so many different people who've contributed. It's bewildering. I mean, it's really hard to take stock of it all. In the competitive scene, there's quite people who could answer that question way better than I could, because I just don't play nearly as much as I'd like to. On the mod side of things, probably the same thing as well. I used to do a tremendous amount of mods and roster updates for years. I haven't really been active in it. I would say it's evolved for the better. There's been peaks and valleys in the community activities. I think one big thing, and I was actually chatting about this a little bit at Row Rum earlier. It was yesterday. I'm losing track of time. It was yesterday about, when Mikey did the documentary, which is amazing. And the first King of 94, it really did inject a whole new kind of energy in the community that just wasn't there before. And I think he deserves all the credit in the world for doing that. And obviously, the guys are still running it now do as well. Mm-hmm. But that was an enormous contribution, because I feel like at the time things started to wane a little bit. The community has never been toxic, and I think everyone's been really good at policing each other and stuff. People, things do get heated, but it's never really boiled over, at least not to my knowledge. There's been maybe 1 or 2 guys that aren't really around anymore because of that. But yeah, I feel like the public tournaments, in terms of the evolution of the competitive play, have totally changed things. Yeah, to put a face to a name and sit next to somebody that you've known of, maybe not on a personal level, but known of for 10, 15 years is really special. And it's not lost on me. I don't lose sight of how cool that is. It's amazing.
So then, just picking back off that, what would be the most memorable tournament physical that you actually attended that you were involved in?
Oh man, I could say the last one was amazing. But seeing, I would say in 2019, being at Waves was the only other one I attended, because the border was closed during COVID. Couldn't go. Mm-hmm. Though I did play in one of the Sochels, which was great. I think probably 2019. Seeing that, was a Game 7 overtime with AJ and Raph on a giant screen. Man, it doesn't get any better than that. It was just phenomenal. So, and I have a whole bunch of other ridiculous stories, personal stories that I probably shared from the event. They're really funny. And I remember we did play some 2v2 after, or 2-on-2 at the hotel room, and I busted up AJ pretty good. I had him laughing pretty good. That was a big highlight for me. So yeah, and it was a rough day. You know, you lose a game like that. It's just,
I know.
But man, did he ever bounce back? Holy smokes!
He has been on an absolute tear since.
Yeah,
and nobody could dethrone that guy. He's so darn good. So then you played a number of players, both online and in person. Do you have one person in particular that you absolutely love, you adore playing with?
Oh no, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really great playing you, Len. Honestly, it's refreshing to see someone who's gets that juiced about playing.
Oh, I love the game. Come on, man.
I go on the short list for sure. And and I remember, like, cause I do watch, I watch all the all your uploads on the smart TV and stuff, like during lunch and stuff.
You're the one.
Thank
you for watching them all.
That's me. Yeah. So he's over the place. We have a channel for our dog. So sometimes I forget I'm logged in there. So if you see he's coming from like a dog channel, that's my dog.
No, it doesn't show. It doesn't go into that level of detail.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Man, I'm totally forgetting the nature of the question. I'm all over the place.
So we're asking who's your favorite person to play with, or in.
I'd leave so many people out. I mean, the guys that started playing 20 years ago. It's so much fun to play them. It brings so many memories back from when I was in my 20s. It's crazy, man. Like being in my bedroom, and it's the summertime, and I'm like, my legs are fused to the chair, and the vinyl chair that I've been so hot, and got my computer right there, and like just sweating playing 94 at all hours of the night. I remember just playing, like, if it was a weekend, you start at like 11:30, 12 in the afternoon, and just keep games going. It'd be like 2 a.m.
Holy.
I don't have the stamina like I used to. So those guys are great to play, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to name names because I'm going to leave all these people out, for sure. So playing those guys, and then, I would say relatively newer members of the community, because there's some guys who've only been here for maybe 4 or 5 years who are scary good. And just like when you came into the community, which I think was there 2020 around there or something like that?
2024, I think.
24? Yeah, like, I mean, just like quantum leaps. And once you learn all these wrinkles, that someone who has never played like online with us or in person, there's the weight bug and 1,000 other ones. It really does. It really does change the play of a newer player. So I'll say this: we played. So I'm skirting the question here. I don't want to keep oiling my way around the floor. I will say this: I played, and I feel terrible because I can't remember his name. I think he's from Edmonton. He is a music teacher, but he popped on the Discord recently. If you go in the streams back far enough, the last week or two, you'll see.
Is it the stream notification?
I'm not sure. But I saw it. It was the middle of the day. I had a break in my day, and I just randomly clicked on it. And this guy is trying to figure out how to play an NHL 94 on RetroArch. So I'm just chiming in. I'm like, no, you got to click this, click that, and he's chatting. It's really, really entertaining to listen to. And finally, we get to a point, and he has some spectators as well, and we finally get a game going. And his mind is completely blown. He's like, oh my God, I'm playing NHL. And I like relived the first time that I actually had that experience online in 2006. I'm like, holy shit, I'm not the only person on the planet still playing this game. And it was just really, really cool to see that. And I kind of took it easy on him. He was obviously really rusty. I didn't want to like blow him out or something like that. But he had a lot of fun. That was a really cool experience. So seeing stuff like that, playing people like that is really nice.
It takes you back to when you first started playing.
Yeah, he saw it. He's like, oh my God, Thomas Steen. Totally forgot about that guy. It was really funny, and we played some. I think we played 3 or 4 games. I took them all. I tried to go easy on them, but I didn't want him to score anything. But it was so much fun to see someone have that experience and listen. Yeah. It was awesome.
Then you're a pretty chill guy, so I don't know if you have anybody that's going to fall under this category, but is anybody that you dislike playing in NHL 94?
Oh man, you get to play 94. What's there to dislike?
I don't know. Maybe somebody rubs you the wrong way or always kicks your ass.
No, I don't mind. Look, I don't mind losing. I'm not. At one time, I might have been considered like maybe top 5, but that was like maybe 15 years ago. And a lot of the best players have played maybe thousands more games than I have, and they've gotten so much better. I'm just status quo. So I don't get mad if I lose. I would say I'd much rather play, lose 3-2 in overtime or 4-3 in overtime, or have like a 5-6 game where I win or lose, whatever, then win like 8-2 or something. That that's not fun. But there's no one I don't like to play. There are quite a few guys that I haven't played in a long time that I would like to. But you got to join leagues and stuff, and time is short. It's hard to find time to play right now. So
you obviously you do the CB checks because you're aware of the weight bug and how to get around that. But there was a time that this wasn't known and not and nobody employed this tactic. So going back, say 10, 15 years, you're kind of rusty now, but you have this knowledge. Do you think you could take on Jesus Plays NHL 94 from say 10 or 50 years ago? And would you beat that person? Or would he beat you?
Handle it, yeah. I would run away with it pretty much, yeah, probably.
Even though that person, that version of you has way more recent experience because he doesn't have that much rust. He's playing 2, 3, 4, 10 hours a day.
Yeah,
you think that may give him? Because I'm wondering because you have the knowledge now.
I'm gonna waffle on it because now I have to think deeply about it, and my brain is not prepared to do that. I'm operating on like 4 hours sleep in the last 48 hours, so. I don't know. Maybe it would be a toss-up if it went 7 games. I would say 22-year-old me versus 42-year-old me. I don't know, man. It'd be close, right? Big youth versus. I'm not going to go as far as say wisdom, but I don't know. Old man strength or something. Youth versus old man strength. It'd be probably pretty close if it was a series.
So you've done this for a while. You've won a lot of matches. Any one match in particular comes out as a memorable win for you?
Oh man, I ran the table in asterisk. AJ was not in the league yet. He won the next year when he joined, and I don't believe Raph was either. But there were some really good players in that league. Names you might not know that are still considered to be some of the best players ever. I think KG Man was in there. But I ran the table. I won 20 games. I was undefeated, and I won the cup in the NHL91.com, which is NHL 94 with 91 rosters, not to confuse the two. And then I was like, all right, I'm not playing next year. But I didn't feel right. So that was pretty cool. Those games are actually on a YouTube channel I no longer have access to. I lost the handle. Excuse me, not the handle, the domain name that went back to the registrar. I forgot to renew it. It's a 90-day window, and I guess I was just lazy on it. But I can't access that YouTube channel anymore. But there's still a bunch of games and stuff on there. And that final series, including the final series that AJ won against Freddie, aka Friday, is on there as well. Yeah, I guess that would be up there. And I think I might have won a Blitz League way back. Or I was in the finals, or I think I won one with Ottawa. It was a draft league, and I had Neely. I remember I kept him at center the entire season, pretty much. So
he's so good
too. Yeah, with the weight bug fixes, he's dynamite. Sure.
Even without just if you could get around his lack of mobility, his shot is just so overpowering. And if you could just get guys, some wingers to dance around with the puck just long enough, they could.
As long as he's not carrying that rock, you know what I mean.
Yeah, he has no ability to do that. You gotta have some creative wingers that are able just to just keep defenders off. And if you could do it long enough and just exploit Neely's shot, oh my God, the guy's dynamite.
Yeah, I don't see him played often on Boston. Of the guys that are in, I was in Classic B this past season. I don't remember who. So I know I played some games against Boston. I don't think I saw Neely in the starting line. I don't know if any guys in A experiment with him. Him being in the top 3. But yeah, they're a powerhouse either way. Boston, and it wasn't. I feel like back in the day, Boston wasn't considered to be that strong the way they are now. But if you look at the tiers, like, yeah, they definitely belong up there. They're a team.
Well,
on either
with the weight bug in consideration, then Sweeney becomes close to an elite defender, right? He's 4 weight. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Sweeney and Donato, I mean, they're like weight bug.
And Juno,
gods, Juno, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
They could do it. They have a lot, and you could even have Oates out there, right? There's lots you could.
Yeah, my guy, my main man, Adam Oates. I was obsessed with him, man. Like, because of '93, NHLPA '93, and he was kind of an enigmatic player. It wasn't until much later, and it's actually one of the reasons I did the '91 ROM is because he was a setup man for Brett Hull, 86 goal season in '91. So yeah, the two of them had amazing years. He would never have gotten those goals without Adam Oates. Not
100%.
Not 86, because he made nearly. Did he score 50 goals?
He scored 50 in under 50 games.
Was
he was injured too,
center or was Oates at center?
Oates was a center, and that was with Neely being hurt. He couldn't play.
Yeah.
Every other day. So he was physically injured, and he still was able to accomplish that. Like, he was Neely as a player very underrated as a goal scorer. People tend to forget.
I know. I mean, when I did a lot of the ROMs and mods and stuff over the years, I developed a huge library of hockey books because I wanted to be on point. You got to know your shit, because people are going to rip you apart in the forums for really bad ratings. So I had a ton of card sets. I remember for the '91 ROM that I made, and there's multiple versions of it, all the way up to me like redrawing all the sprites and adding colors for helmets and stuff like that. Because like Montreal and stuff, like they had red helmets in the original game. So does Chicago. I got them right so that they're blue for Montreal and black for Chicago, stuff like that. But that '91 ROM, I bought every media guide from the season and scanned all the photos and scanned an entire card set. So I know that stuff. I know how good of a goal scorer Neely is. But that kind of reminds, and we're going to go in all different directions. It kind of reminds.
That's the way to go, man. This is the way we roll.
It kind of reminds me of Lemieux though, and the '91 season leading up to their first Stanley Cup, because he was thought that his career was greatly in jeopardy, and that was before, I think, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
He had a huge back issue.
Yes, and he was expected to miss the season. Came back in the playoffs and won the Conn Smythe and shattered the Cinderella aspirations of the North Stars, winning 8-0. I made a video of that with the game.
They had no business being there.
Yeah, I made that I forgot about that. I made that way back in the day. It took me forever to splice the audio and everything to make it seamless, but I think it's still on YouTube.
I think you've posted that not too. I recall seeing. I remember you posted that on Discord, so it is still around. I'm fairly certain.
It's still up there. Yeah, that was a main feature for the website, and at the time, I remember for NHL91.com, Greg Wyszynski, who's Puck Daddy. I think he still is a blogger / journalist for hockey, but at the time he was writing for Yahoo Sports. I remember he picked it up. The video is like 17 minutes, and I tried to use it to get some more traffic on the site, even though I did have robots TXT and the Unix shared hosting package at the root, because I was always paranoid that the EA would be like, all right, we're shutting this down. Electronic Arts would be like, enough of this. You guys are playing this game, you should be paying for it. But yeah, he penned a column about it and shared the link, and man, the traffic blew up. I think we got from nothing except for guys who played in the league. I think we got I don't know, man. In a week, we had 30,000 hits or something because of the videos. It was pretty cool.
About time that somebody else picks up on what's being done and creates some new traffic. There's a lot of new guys joining the league not too long ago. I think it's because the fighting ROMs creates some new interest amongst older people. They see that the fighting is there. It's getting a little bit of publicity, and man, oh man, it's good to see some new blood.
Yeah, deservedly so, man. I mean, it really should. I know Halifax, Daryl, does a lot on social to try to get the word out about stuff like that. I mean, I don't have access to, I did the NHLPA 93 website, it's still there, NHLPA93.NHL94.com. I did that with Evan's permission, I don't know, 20 years ago. It's still there. I think the league results might be there too. I don't know. It looks like the old site. If you check it out, it looks like the old 94 site, but it's maroon or red instead of blue, I think. But yeah, no, Daryl does a lot to get the word out. I've done a lot of 2-on-2 videos. We're doing the 2-on-2.
Yes, lately you've done a ton
to try to get the word out and get more people into play. I don't know if it's been effective because I don't have access to, the analytics. I don't know what kind of hits the site gets. And these days, forums they're just kind of out of time. I don't mean like, I just mean that the era is kind of over and everything's moved to instant messaging now. So I don't know how you measure that on Discord. The number of people joining, I guess.
Yeah, you go look at the welcome channel. Welcome.
Yeah. And I mean, I remember I still have so many other people in the community help new guys learn to play. I remember learning or teaching, I don't know how many people how to use gens back in the day, the old emulator we used. To get fresh blood in the community. It's always a good sign though, because yes, it's great to have the stalwarts and the pillars of the community continue to do their thing. I mean, it would be a huge loss if some of them stopped playing. I'm not going to name names. They're the long-standing community members, but you got to have fresh blood, and you got to have new people coming into play. And I do realize there's also kind of don't want a situation where there's a massive influx of new players, and it could create kind of something that becomes really hard to manage. I don't see it happening unless the game is able to be played on maybe Steam or something like that. If EA were to do that, I don't see it happening. Or online play on PSN or Xbox Live or something like that. Maybe it could be crazy, but no, we can always use new players. I've given up putting, flyers on windshield wipers and stuff. I don't do that. But back and for guys used to come in to play, I was almost like a Jehovah's Witness for 2-on-2 back in the day, because I would try to indoctrinate them as soon as we'd play like a game of 94 and they'd figure it out. I'm like, you got to try this thing. It's called 2-on-2. Everyone's playing it. It's amazing. It's 4 people, and before you know it, we're playing. And back in the day, it was really easy to get a game going in 2-on-2. There was always at least 5 or 6 guys available at one time or another to play. So I don't know. I'm doing what I can with 2-on-2 to get the word out. I think the tournaments help a lot too, right? Like King, and I know Halifax has done podcasts and stuff. I'm trying to set something up in Philly, see if we can do a tournament maybe later this year or next year. I think that does help a lot. It does help a lot. But the fact of the matter is, at least in my own opinion, I think there's a lot of guys who look at games these days, guys our age, maybe a little older, who it's kind of a thing, where you come home after work and you're beat and you just want to flop on the couch, and you got your controller, it's wireless, you hold it, turn your console on, and you just kind of space out for an hour or two, have something to eat. Those kind of guys who if 94 was available on those platforms would probably play a lot. But it's just hard to reach those guys. I mean, case in point, there were like four new guys at King. There's like a squad from Pittsburgh, which is interesting because Pittsburgh was the NHL 94 capital of the world for a while. We had a map going, and you could see all the pins for everyone. And like Ace McGee, and they'd never played online or really heard of the website until they heard of King. And I'm like, where have you guys been? Like playing in a cave for the past 20 years? Like, it's the first thing that comes up if you Google NHL 94. Have you never done that? So it goes to show you there's probably still a lot of people out there. Maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but a considerable amount of guys out there who love the game, and if they knew, they probably would play maybe at least a game or two. I don't know if they'd stick around, but at least a couple games online or try to get it going. And then there's a huge, I feel like I'm going on a huge tangent, but then there's another giant group of people who just like to play single player, right? And there's always those gamers that really aren't into multiplayer. They love the single player. But yeah, because I mean, case in point, you look at some of the ROMs that get released, right? Like there's a roster update every year. I think I did 2010 to 2015, the regular season, the playoffs. But the guys who are doing them now are just, they're so good. And you'll see 10 or 15 people comment and say thank you and great job and everything. And there's like 600 downloads.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's a lot of people playing the game that are not playing in the community, and they just enjoy playing it. So there's that too. There's that aspect of it, I guess.
Do you feel that EA dropped the ball with NHL Rewind by not allowing like consoles like Xbox or PlayStation to allow for an online play? Like you talked about Xbox Live, you talked about PSN. I mean, it seemed like that would have been a no-brainer. You have the infrastructure there; it's put in place. It didn't seem like it's that difficult to put in some sort of net code that you could.
I would say the ball isn't going far enough. I mean, they punctured it with a chef's knife. Really, how do you not add online play to the game? And for me, as soon as I heard that, I remember we were all. Well, I guess what year was that? Was it 14 or 15 with Rewind?
Let me take a peek.
When it first
I thought it was later than that, but 2020.
Yeah, wow, I didn't realize it was that recent. I know a lot of guys, like I think Smaz and a couple other guys got credited for doing some stuff that was borrowed by the team that did Rewind. No, but it was criminal. I remember watching news about it like a hawk and being like, are we actually going to get what we want for once? Are we actually going to get it? We're going to get 94. You can play it online on Xbox Live or PSN. Steam would probably never happen, and the original teams, and there's leaderboards, and there's stat tracking, and we're going to actually get it. And the second I heard, it was like I was going to have a mild heart attack. It's like, there's no online play. I'm like, well, why bother? I think there is a workaround for PSN. I don't have PSN. So I think there is a workaround. Some guys do play sometimes. I don't know what the experience is like. I don't know if it's that big of a deal that I don't think the rosters are intact, are they?
I think it's locked to 2020, and they haven't updated it. I think.
Well, I mean, are they? The rosters aren't from 94, are they?
No, they're updated to 2020, so it's got Ovechkin and.
It's still cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still cool. There's some new wrinkles and stuff I've seen on it, but yeah, how could you not?
100%.
Man, how could you not do that? It just seems glaringly obvious.
Just based on your proximity, do you ever deal or play with those Philly Horseman guys?
I'm kind of happy you mentioned that. I don't know what I have to do, man, with smoke signals or what, because I've been trying to get a hold of some of them. I know I reached out to Daryl to see if we can try to arrange something. And there's the podcast Daryl did, I think, in the lead up to the most recent King of 94. And listen, that was really good. I've been trying to get a hold of those guys. Seems like there's some other people in the community that would be potentially willing to attend, which is awesome. I floated doing a live draft. Obviously, we'd have to figure out a whole lot of logistic stuff, but that would probably be pretty fun. Doing a live draft, getting it. We need a couple of flashcards, maybe 5 or 6. But that would be pretty cool. I don't think there's ever been a live draft in 94, but that would be fun, a fun wrinkle on things. I just can't get a hold of those guys. I've been trying for a few weeks. I've also kind of thought about teaming up or trying to team up with the Flyers Wives Fight for Lives Carnival. They're a charity that the Flyers have had for 4 years, or as long as the franchise has been around. They raise a ton of money every year. If we could do that, maybe not as a tailgate, but maybe it's kind of a sideshow and an entrance to play. Maybe you could go to charity. That could be maybe a thing. There's a couple venues I can think of that might work. in the area, but none of it's set in stone. It's really all nebulous right now. But I would hope so. I would hope we can do it. If not this year, maybe next year. It's just not easy to get a hold of those guys.
Yeah, I'll just change gears and just get away from 94 for a moment, because I did take a look at your Clockwize YouTube channel, and it's with his Z, not an S, Clockwize. You posted other videos like NHL 2004, NHL 2K, Virtual Fighter.
Yeah. Wow.
You've done a few things in the past. So
I mean, I'm a hardcore gamer. Not really anymore. I still consider myself one because I was for so long. PC and console and arcade. Huge Sega fan, huge Nintendo fan, huge PC gamer, all the way back.
You ever play Open Ice?
Yes, I have. I actually played it online with some guys in the community briefly for about a week. Habs was one of them. Was one of the better players.
We got to play the free play at the King, because they have it there from what I understand. I wanted to play with Daryl, never worked out.
Yeah, no, it's pretty.
You.
It's pretty fun. I like it. But yeah, I mean, all kinds of stuff and everywhere in between. It's funny. I actually discovered. I think I first discovered the forum, Evans forum, or the website before the forum was ready, by chatting with Peter McKellar, Macker, who had Max Hacks, the website with NHL 94 hacks. Way back in the day, he used to be the captain. Excuse me, I'm getting punchy here. He used to be the captain of the Whitby Dunlops. Great guy, graphic designer. I think he used to be a firefighter too. He was on a forum called the Nosebleed section with another guy, Don, who was one of the first members of the community. And at the time, being on there, I got into modding PC games really early on, modding like Star Wars Dark Forces 2 and stuff like that, and doing mods, I think in like Maya or something like that. And I was really into some of the NHL PC mods, and that's how I actually discovered the forum, because I was working on modding. Like 2000, NHL 2000, 2002, all those games. It's a shame what happened with the PC community, because they were thriving communities with thousands of members that worked on modding those PC games for years. And as we know, the modding communities have contributed and created some of the best games ever. If you think of the most popular competitive first-person shooter ever, which I've never really got into it, Counter-Strike started out as a mod for Half-Life. So it's just a shame what happened with those PC games. But man, I've been a gamer my whole life. So you name it, a console, a system, an arcade machine. I've had Japanese arcade cabinets. Big box PC games are like a first love of mine or something like that. I still love them. So yeah, I like playing everything. But you mentioned Virtua Fighter. I guess I'll end the tangent by saying I was big into the developer, Yu Suzuki, his games. He's the creator of Outrun. I think the first Shenmue, big game. But Virtua Fighter is kind of like, especially the second and third ones, kind of like I would say chess, which I've been playing that most of my life as a kid.
What's your ELO?
Chess club with my dad. What was that?
What's your ELO in chess?
ELO these days, I don't study the game anymore like I used to when I was a kid. I was in chess club and everything. I said we used to go every Monday night to the Tri-State Chess Club. On a good day, I'm probably like 1900.
Holy cow!
2000. But I don't play consistent. I mean, I used to play every day, and I would play my dad, and I would do Chessmaster on PC for hours. And Yasir Sariwan's books are probably my favorite chess books ever. I loved his books. He's one of my favorite grandmasters. But I don't play much. Now it's funny. I say I don't play much, but what do I do every time I'm waiting for like something to print out or whatever? I'll hop on chessli.org and I'll play a blitz game, like 60 seconds. I probably do like 3 or 4 days still. So, but yeah, Virtua Fighter is, especially the second and third ones. They were really amazing games. I was into Street Fighter for a long time as well, Alpha 3 and Third Strike. I used to play some guys in Japan on GGPO. It's a really cool emulator with dedicated netcode for those old Capcom CPS2 games on the CPS2 arcade hardware. Yeah, it was really cool to see dedicated emulator with netcode for those games, and it used to make me wonder, like, what kind of stuff could we do with 94, because to have that kind of dedicated netcode, because I was playing guys in Japan with, you really couldn't tell there was latency, and no, it was there, you know, and physics play a factor too. There's a big chunk of geography between two people, but
yeah,
it really wasn't noticeable, and it was amazing. It was amazing to get chirped too by guys in Japan. Like, some of the insults were really, it's just different, you know. I'm like, wow, okay, that's how you guys are gonna rip me. They ripped me for, like, you know, for doing cheap stuff, but yeah, big VF fan, big Street Fighter fan, and I guess I'll end my latest rant by saying, I was trying to think, what is my favorite PC game all time? Oh man, Hidden and Dangerous is a big one. Doom 2 is a big one. There's so many games. We'd be here for a lot longer than an hour.
Quake Team Fortress.
What's that?
Quake Team Fortress.
Yeah, Quake. Oh, come on, man. Quake.
I love the Team Fortress mod on that. It's so
for sure. Good. Yeah, no, amazing games. All right, the best multiplayer ever. Yeah, man.
I got some. This part of the time of the show that I'm gonna just fire off some questions to you. So I'm gonna be feeding you the puck and see if you can knock them in the net as quick as possible. So be ready.
Okay.
Favorite console. Favorite console.
Favorite console? You mean to play 94? Genesis?
Just to play in general.
Oh man, come on. Favorite console ever? Well, it's definitely not N64. You know, I can rule out the Saturn. I do love the Dreamcast a lot. Favorite console? Yeah, I have to go. I mean, look, I consider the Super Nintendo library to be vastly superior to the Genesis library. On the whole, platformers and otherwise, a lot of other sports games are better. There's, I would say, you know, the Street Fighter, which is an arcade game. That's how it should be played, but it is better on Super NES than it is on Genesis. But I'm gonna have to go with Sega Genesis.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah.
The most loved human player in NHL 94.
The most, I would probably say me. No, I can't I can't say a name. No, there's no way I can do that. I mean, there's some guys in the community that are super affable that everyone loves and everyone knows who they are. I really don't know. I can't name names. That's just not fair.
Okay, here's another
I'll
one.
skirt the question.
So who's the player that you hate to play with in 94? You just hate to play them. Any system, any setup, the guy that you hate to play against.
You mean like a skater on a roster?
No, a human.
That I hate to play with?
Yeah.
Or against?
Against, either way.
Oh, so I don't know if you meant like two on two or like
you could frame it however you want. The guy that you'd hate to play, either they just always beat the fuck out of you, or
probably me. I can't. There isn't anyone I hate to play, really. There's only one guy in the community who will remain nameless, shall remain nameless. He wasn't a grammar Nazi. He was like a Waffen SS grammar, and he was just so rough on the forums. Like, every time I'd have a typo, he would just chew me out. And I'd be like, man. But he's not around, and I've never actually played him, and he never ever played online, so he doesn't count either. So,
all right,
we can't say anybody.
Who's better in 94, Roenick or Bure?
It's Roenick. Yeah, it's Roenick. To me, at least. Yeah, he holds the title. Yeah, I know people would say Mogs, McGillney, Bure. I mean, no, it'll stay with Roenick, at least for me. That's the lens that I look at the game through.
So the hold move, like pressing A on a Genesis controller, is that cheap?
I'm really confused right now because I'm wondering, have you been scouting me?
No,
because I love to do it.
I'm a big proponent of it. I love doing it as well.
One of my favorite things to do, and it works really good in 2-on-2 as well, is to hook semi close to the boards and then it just can't get away, and then you staple gun right through the boards and retrieve the puck. Is it cheap? Maybe. Is it super effective? Yes. So it's great. I love it. They don't call it often either. So I love hooking.
Favorite team to play with in '94?
It's got to be the Whale, man. It's got to be the Whale. I love the fact that the Whalers, they don't really, they don't excel in any particular area, but they have really fun kind of role players. Verbeek has got decent shot power, so you got that, but he's not fleet of foot. You got Sanderson, who's got some wheels. He can skate. The third forward is, I don't know, crapshoot. I remember I was at Row Rum, yesterday, and played some matchups with Hartford, and I'm like, man, I cannot pick the third forward. And it looked like I was stalling. I'm like, I just can't make up my mind.
Yeah.
But Yake is a pretty popular choice.
Nylander, I'm going to toss
Nylander. Yeah, I used him, I think, for a game or two. But their decor is strong too. Zarl's back there. You got Zarly Zalapsky with all-time great hockey names.
Yeah, Double Z.
Yeah, Beak or Adam Burt. Why did I say Beak? I was thinking of Pat for Beak. Adam Burt is serviceable. I really like the makeup of the team, and it's the friggin' Whalers, man. I mean, come on. I would say the Whalers, or I'll just say the Whalers. Just leave it there. We'll say the Whalers.
Do you have a team you hate playing with in '94?
Yeah, I do. It's probably St. Louis.
Really?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I hate playing with them, but I don't. It's funny. I feel like I play better with them on a Super NES. I just don't have success with them on Sega. It seems like every time I play with them, I find a way to lose somehow, one way or another. I find a way to lose by a goal or two or something. Hull is notorious for missing the net at the most inopportune times as well. I know there's guys who can really, I mean, obviously, but some of the better players in the community can do amazing things with the Blues, but I'm not one of them. I'm not one of those guys.
Who's the most overrated player, not human player, but like the actual player in the game in NHL '94?
Sean Chambers, but he's a 1 overall. So, no, he's a 93 though.
Yeah.
Who's the most overrated or underrated?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We'll do both. We'll start overrated first.
Overrated. Oh man. So you mean the actual rating, not the in real life, like their season?
Yeah, like somebody like a Gardner comes to mind for me. Like, is you just great skater but can't shoot. So, like, he's just like, I can't use him. I think he's an overrated dude. In real life, he's a great player, but just in the game, people like. But I think that,
man, there's so many ways to go about it. I don't know. I'll go underrated first. I'm making a real habit out of skirting the question here. I'll probably say Phil Housley is pretty underrated.
Underrated, eh?
Yeah. No, I mean, he can do stuff. He doesn't have the shot. But man, I feel like, and this is my own experience, so I'm only speaking for myself. But I feel like just going coast to coast with a defenseman, I've never had more success than I've had with Phil Houskey. He unlocks offense for you, and in the most recent season of Classic, I had Winnipeg in Super NES and Sega, and I had fun with that, having him back there, just going coast to coast, trying to deke goals and stuff like that. So I would say we'll just give it to him for the sake of brevity. We'll give it to Housley. And then most overrated, man, it's so tough because I think that kind of it's so tough because you look at the draft league, some of the guys who we consider to be overrated, underrated. Coaches just find a way to make things happen with them somehow or another. Even still, it seems like there's some forwards that just don't get a lot of love that have found a way to make waves in some draft leagues, which I'm not really a part of right now. Most overrated, I'll say LaFontaine, maybe.
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
Not a great answer. Just My brain is scrambled eggs right now. I'm so tired. So I'll say LaFontaine. It's not a great answer, but we'll go with that.
Last rapid fire question: 6-button or the 3-button?
Oh, 6-button. No contest. Yeah.
I use the 3-button, which is funny. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
No, I think my issue is I've used, this is actually a USB one. This is the mini from Japan. I got this pretty recently. It's great. I used the Saturn controllers for online play for so long that just habitually just so accustomed to playing with that. It feels like I have, I don't know, a giant hamburger in my hand or something with the 3-button now. But it is a great controller. Not a great D-pad though. And for me, a game like 94, it all boils down to the directional pad for the wiggles, for picking angles, stuff like that. If you're going 5-hole from the blue line for a slapper from the middle of the ice, breaking into the attacking zone, I feel like the D-pad is really what matters the most. And the 6-button does have a better D-pad than the 3-button. It's not even close. So 6-button.
What's a worse controller, the Dreamcast controller or N64?
I don't know, man. You're splitting hairs. They're both terrible.
They're shit.
They really are. Wow. And then there's the VMU port for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
It's like a docking station for a spaceship or something like that. It's so weird, man. Which one is worse? Oh, yeah, I don't know how I played GoldenEye a million times with that controller, man.
It's such a bad controller. I
don't know how I did it. But it was an innovative controller. You got to give full marks to Nintendo for innovating, though, if you want to call it that. The worst of the two, I would probably say, and I played a lot of. At one point, I think I had almost 200 Dreamcast games.
Holy cow!
I was big into the system for quite a while. Capcom really saved, I think, because Electronic Arts pulled out on that after the Saturn. I'll give you a little bit of history, a little bit of Sega history. After the Saturn was released and Electronic Arts developed some of their sports games, my understanding was it was for whatever reason it was developer hell on that platform. So they're like, we're screw you guys. We're going to go to PlayStation, and we're not going to do anything with the Dreamcast. And that's actually why the 2K Sports Series, the NFL, NHL 2K Series, and NBA 2K Series were started on Sega by Sega Sports, because Electronic Arts did not release any sports games for the Dreamcast, but the Dreamcast controller does suck pretty hard. I'll give it the Dreamcast is the worst of the two, yeah, for sure.
That's it for the rapid fire questions. I do have one question. You could elaborate a little further if you want. If you could change one thing about the game, anything, we're talking NHL 94, one thing you could change, what would it be?
Fighting. I already got that. Yeah. So,
yeah. There's nothing to change. It's perfect.
I would say the game is perfect as it is, just like, it's beautiful with all its flaws the way it is. The vanilla 94 without any updates or anything. Doesn't need anything. But one other thing, additionally, we have a goalie control button. We got fighting. I mean, we're almost there. We're almost at the summit. I mean, what else could there be? I guess I would say, rather than like a feature or something like that, I would say having an emulator or some kind of wrapper or something, RetroArch probably wouldn't be it, where the game can be played really, really easily by just double clicking on something and having controls configured with dedicated net code. I think it would make the game much more accessible, but that's an enormous undertaking and project. Which, you know what? I'll say source code, which might actually happen, which is, to me, is mind blowing in itself. Considering what's going on right now, the 92 source code we got that. And the game is being disassembled. I haven't been in IDA Pro since we did the control subroutines for the goalie control button. But I do check the ROM hacking, I guess, subtopic or group there. That's the Discord. There's crazy stuff going on there right now. I can't wait to see what that's going to look like in 3 or 4 years. It's going to be pretty cool, man. So
there's some coding. coding wizardry is going on in there, man. Like, just
Yeah. Yeah.
It's thankful that
I feel bad. I really have nothing to contribute right now, but it's great to see that stuff get worked on. And I guess we're about to wrap up here. I will say one guy that deserves mention that doesn't get talked about in the community very much is Anton Snopek, who created the NHL old school editor, and a lot of the offsets and stuff in hexadecimal that are in the game were known prior to his arrival. But here's a guy who hails from Australia, where no one knows what hockey even is.
Yeah.
Creates and disassembles all of the graphical assets in the game so they can be easily modded and updated, which really kind of gave way to draft leagues and all this stuff, and then creates the NHL old school editor. So that guy definitely deserves a shout out. I haven't chatted with him in super long, but he really was like my training wheels on learning how to mod the game. There were some other guys too, like Smaz, who helped me out a ton back in the day. But that guy definitely deserves a shout out. I don't know if we'll ever get him to come to an event or anything like that.
It's a long way.
He is a pretty reclusive guy too. He's not really on social media or anything like that. But yeah, man, shout out to that guy. If he ever sees this, man, come back. We miss you, dude.
Final words before we wrap up?
Let's keep it going. Final words. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep doing the tournaments. Let's keep playing online. Let's keep it growing. I'd hate to think that there's a potentiality that this would never be a thing. That would effing suck. So let's keep playing. Let's just keep it going.
And we'll continue on with the podcasts. And
yes, please. So let me add one more. I don't know who you have on, coming up. But yeah, there's a lot of guys. I'm not going to name names because I'm going to leave someone out, but there's a lot of guys in the community that need to be on this. So, and I know I'll speak for myself. I love watching these, and maybe like at the public, maybe the next King or something, if you grab a tripod and do some quick questions with guys, I know that'd be really cool too. Adding that to like an episode or something.
Yeah. I've thought about doing something like that.
Yeah, just like quick
man on the street, but inside the
in between games or something like that. Just like top 5, or like a 5-question thing.
Yeah,
how'd you discover the game and stuff like that. So that'd be really cool to see some opinions from guys that have never been there before, and guys that maybe they don't have time or want to do this for an hour or something like that. Would be really cool.
I hope you had fun doing this, Jesus Plays.
It was awesome, man. I look forward to it. I'm sorry I put it off like 100,000 times.
They were all legitimate reasons.
We finally got it in, man.
So yeah, with that, we're done, and we'll be back at this very soon. So take care, because we have a lot more left in the tank.
All right, have a good one, Len. See you, bud.
I hope you enjoyed this rip with Jesus Plays NHL 94. If you're on audio, listening to this on Spotify or Apple, give me a 5-star review, as it helps out with the algorithm. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, you know the deal. It helps me out a lot. Also, I got a few more ready to go next week. I got 2 interviews booked next weekend, so this is going to be a lot of fun. Stick around. You're in for some fun times, because there's going to be a lot more NHL 94 discussion ahead. Take care.